The chase had been going on for over 10 minutes. Sirens screamed through the narrow streets. Tires screeched, and the sound of boots hitting the pavement echoed between tall buildings. The thief, dressed in black, carrying a small leather bag, sprinted into an empty alley. There was nowhere left to run. 3 police cars blocked one end. Officers rushed from the other side. He was trapped. Everyone saw him take one last turn behind a dumpster, but when they reached it, there was nothing. No thief, no bag, no trace. It was as if the man had vanished into thin air. And what made it worse? This wasn't the first time it had happened.
The city of Crestwood had always been alive. Traffic humming, neon lights flickering, and people rushing through every corner as if time itself was running out. It was a place where small crimes were normal. Stolen phones, missing wallets, the usual. But lately, something strange had been happening. Expensive jewelry stores were being hit cleanly, quietly, almost like magic. Security systems untouched, doors still locked. And each time when the police checked the cameras, the same thing appeared. A man in a black hoodie walking in and never walking out. No faces, no clues, no mistakes. Locals started calling him the Vanishing Thief. Some said he was a hacker. Some believed he had inside help. A few even whispered he wasn't real at all, just a ghost, haunting the greedy and vanishing before dawn. But Detective Ryan Hale didn't believe in ghosts. To him, there had to be logic behind every illusion. And this time, he swore he would find out how a man could disappear right in front of an entire city.
Detective Ryan Hale arrived at the scene before sunrise. The jewelry store sat on the corner of 9th Street, untouched, silent, its alarm system still blinking green. No broken glass, no forced entry. Yet inside, every display case was empty. The store manager stood pale and shaking. "Everything was fine last night," he said. "We closed at 9, locked everything." Hale nodded, scanning the floor. No footprints, no fingerprints, no sign of a rush. It was too perfect, too clean. The security footage showed the thief walking in just before midnight. A black hoodie, gloves, face hidden. He went straight to the cases, no hesitation. He filled a small bag, walked toward the exit, and then, gone. One frame showed him standing near the door. The next frame? Just air. No glitch, no cut. Just gone. Hale replayed the video over and over, searching for even the smallest clue, a reflection, a shadow, anything. And then he saw it, just for a split second. A faint blur near the far corner of the screen, right next to a cleaning cart. It wasn't proof. But it was enough to tell him one thing. The Vanishing Thief didn't use magic. He used timing.
Over the next few days, Crestwood buzzed with one question. How does a man disappear in plain sight? The police set traps. They placed undercover officers near jewelry stores, banks, even art galleries. But the thief was always one step ahead. Every time he struck, it was the same pattern. No alarms, no broken doors, and no exit caught on camera. People were terrified and fascinated. News channels ran constant updates. The Vanishing Thief strikes again. Social media exploded with theories. Teleportation, invisibility cloaks, secret tunnels. Some said he was ex-military. Others swore he was an illusionist who'd gone rogue. Detective Hale didn't buy any of it. "There's always a way," he muttered under his breath, watching footage in his dimly lit office. Night after night, he replayed the same clips until his eyes burned. Then, one evening, he noticed something everyone else had missed. A reflection in a store mirror, caught for half a second.
It wasn't the thief's face. It was a uniform. A janitor's uniform. The detective froze the frame, zoomed in, and saw the corner of a mop handle in the reflection, right where the thief had vanished. "You clever bastard," he whispered. The thief wasn't vanishing at all. He was blending in, hiding among the people no one ever looked at twice. And the next time, Hale promised himself he would be ready.
2 weeks later, it happened again. Another jewelry store. Same method, same ghostly exit. But this time, Detective Hale was waiting. He had hidden plainclothes officers across the street, posted units on every corner, and set up cameras covering every possible route. There was no way out. At exactly 11:47 p.m., a silent alarm triggered. Hale's radio buzzed. He's inside. Through the glass, he saw the shadow of a man, calm, precise, moving as if he'd done this 100 times before. Hale signaled his team. They surrounded the building and moved in. But when they burst through the door, nothing. No thief. No noise. Just an empty store and a cleaning cart sitting quietly near the back wall. Hale's heart sank. He walked slowly toward the cart, pulled the cloth aside, and saw a janitor's uniform neatly folded on top. That's when it hit him. The thief had already escaped by becoming invisible in plain sight. Moments later, the store's side door creaked open, and a man in a janitor's outfit stepped into the alley, pushing a mop bucket. He didn't run. He didn't hide. He just walked away, while police searched only meters behind him. Watching from a distance, Hale realized the truth. The vanishing thief didn't need magic. He just needed people to stop seeing him.
The next morning, Hale reviewed every second of footage from the night before. This time, he wasn't looking for the thief. He was looking for the janitor. Frame by frame, he watched the man enter the building hours before the robbery. He pushed a cart, wore gloves, and carried a ring of keys. He looked ordinary, invisible even. But Hale noticed something strange. The logo on his uniform didn't match the real cleaning company's design. It was a fake. The thief had been inside the store all along, hiding in plain sight until closing time. Once the lights went off, he changed his clothes, filled his bag, and calmly walked out wearing a janitor's uniform. The mop, the bucket, even the ID card, all fake, but real enough to fool anyone half awake at midnight. That's why the cameras never caught him leaving. No one thought to question the cleaner. Hale leaned back in his chair, a grin forming across his tired face. "You're good. Too good." But he also knew something else. Thieves like this never stop after success. They get addicted to the illusion. And Hale was counting on it. So he started planning a trap, one designed not to catch a ghost, but to expose a man who thought he was one.
3 nights later, Hale returned to the store. But this time, he didn't come alone. Silent motion sensors, hidden cameras, and a small team waited in the dark. The store lights went off at midnight. Everything was still. Then, at 12:37, this same shadow slipped through the back door. The janitor was back. Calm, confident, predictable. He pushed his cart, walked to the same counter, and reached for the safe. But as soon as his fingers touched the lock, click. The lights exploded on. Hale stepped forward, his voice steady. "Game's over, Ghost." The thief froze, for the first time unsure. Dozens of small red dots from motion sensors lit up around him like fireflies. There was nowhere left to run. Still, he tried, sprinting toward the exit, knocking over shelves, glass shattering everywhere. But outside, another surprise waited. Hale had locked every possible route, every escape. The vanishing thief, the man who'd fooled everyone, finally stopped. He looked at Hale, smiled faintly, and said, "You almost didn't catch me." Hale replied, "Almost doesn't count." And just like that, the mystery that haunted the town for weeks came to an end. Not with a gunshot or chase, but with a trap, built on patience and understanding.
When the thief was finally questioned, he said something that Hale never forgot. "I never wanted the money," he whispered. "I just wanted to prove I could disappear." And in that single line, Hale realized the truth. Some people don't steal for greed. They do it to feel seen. The vanishing thief wasn't running from the law. He was running from a life that never noticed him. Hale wrote in his final report, "Sometimes the greatest crimes aren't about what's taken, but about what was missing all along." And maybe that's the real mystery. Not how someone disappears, but how many of us already have. This was The Vanishing Thief.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. See you in the next one. Bye for now.